No, let's do it like this. Welcome, welcome everyone. How's everyone doing today? You've entered Coach's Talk with Mike, and Coach Will. We're all about talking about sports related objects, things like that. We're talking about USC, talking about OU. Before we get started today, if you could hit that like button, hit that red subscribe button, and ring that bell so you'll catch all the content that we got going forward. We're gonna jump in today, but first, before I do that, Mike, what's going on today? But
What's going on, Coach Ricks, man? How you been?
I'm doing good, man. How was that vacation?
Oh, the vacation was nice, man. A friend of mine got married in Detroit, so I flew up there, and yeah, he a baller. So we was out on the yacht on the lake, and just it was dope, man. You got Michigan on one side, and you got Canada on the other side, and yeah, it was
Okay.
pretty fun, man. It was pretty fun.
No, no, man, that's good, man. Well, hey, I don't want to keep everyone, man. We didn't get on last night. You was under the weather, man. So I was like, I don't want to
Yeah.
do this without Mike. This is
Thank you, thank
Coach and Mike show and everything. It ain't just my show. So I want to make sure, man, that I show you love and everything, man, whenever you ain't here. But we're gonna try to get through this tonight, unscathed and everything. Hopefully that we have some people jump in and see how we are doing it. But if not, we're gonna keep it rolling. We're going to jump into the top offenses of 2024, 247, covers, and I believe Sports Illustrated put out their top 10 on offense for 2024 on who they think is going to be on the top 10. Then they also did a top 10 on defense. So we're going to try
you.
to break down, see if that list is accurate, if that list is subjective. And then after that, we're going to put down who we think from the eye test because everything's eye test now. There aren't no games being played, so we're gonna jump on that and see that. But who do you have? Who do you? What would be your top 10 of offenses that you think would be on today?
Like you said before, like you led with, we don't know. These are things that could change in the blink of an eye, man. Injuries could take a big part of it. Uh, Weather, anything.
Yeah,
This is basically our opinions about it. What we've seen from the past with some of these teams, and
yeah,
some of the things that they do. Some teams we know are genuinely good at certain things, and some teams aren't. You know,
yeah,
and you did say offense, right? So we're going
yeah.
offense
We're gonna do the
first.
10 offense first, and then we'll transition
Offense,
over
okay.
to the top 10 defenses, and then what we're gonna do after that, we're gonna put together our own little first time ever 12 team CFP bracket to see who we think is going to be where and try to break it down like that. Like I said, we are around what 20 days before the first game is played. So we just trying to, keep the
Yeah.
needle moving, man, because everybody right now, man, is speculating on who's going to do what, who's going to do this. So I just want to get your
Hmm.
opinion. Who do you think will be your 10 best offenses?
One, I do agree with Ohio State. I
Okay.
think Ohio State didn't lose a lot last year. Um, we know Michigan were the national champions, but they lost a lot of people, even their coach. So I think this year Ohio State's gonna beat beat Michigan. That's a rival
Oh, you do.
game. I think they're gonna beat Michigan this year. Um, Ohio State is strong on both sides of the ball, man. They yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team. So I think
All right, so
Ohio
you stand
State
with
is
the
going
safe.
to be.
So the safe bet you're gonna just stick with Ohio State,
I'm gonna stick
because
with
they are
Ohio
returning a
State.
lot of guys on offense, but they had to go in the portal, man, and get Will Howard from Kansas State, man. And I know Kansas State is Kansas State, but Will Howard didn't have the talent that he has now at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Kansas State, man, they would get 3 stars and they would coach them up to be good players. But now you're coming into a school
Right.
like Ohio State and you got 5 stars all over the field and you ain't got to do too much. Do you think he's going to try to come in and do too much and try to shine and say, hey, I know I came from K State, but I'm at Ohio State now. So I have to, there's a different level of expectations.
Well, there is different pressure. We know that. Uh, we know with a team like Ohio State, sometimes, man, you can lose all your games and you just beat Michigan, and that might get you another year on the squad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I just think that with him having not having the pressure of being the head coach and him just being able to focus on the offense, I think they're going to be really good. I think a lot of times too, what you put on film, it can have an effect on you. And if people don't have a lot of film, like you said, K State, they had a lot of players, man, that were 3 star. You may not have had a lot of film on them because they're not,
Yeah.
on national television every year, so you don't know what to expect. Um,
Yeah.
so I think the coach, got a lot on film on what he likes to do, but as
Okay.
far as some of the new weapons that he's gonna have, I think he's gonna do pretty well.
Well, do you think Day, if things don't go the way everyone thinks they're going to go, everybody thinks that because, like Urban Meyer said, this is Ohio State's most talented offense they've ever had. That's a lot of
Hmm.
pressure putting on, Day. So, do you
Yeah.
think if he doesn't get it done this year and Michigan beats him again, do you think he might be on the hot seat?
I think so, especially with Michigan losing their head coach. Michigan, the coach that they do have now, he did step in last
Yeah.
year a lot. Um,
Yeah.
and I do think the players respect their coach, but I just think they lost a lot. They lost a
Yeah.
lot, and Michigan is going to have that pressure on them too to do
Yeah.
what they do. They're national champs. So I just think Ohio State is coming
But,
in.
but, not to interrupt you, man, but I
Oh
think
no, no problem.
Michigan gets a bye. I think when you lose your head coach after you won the championship, I think that if you don't make it to the CFP, you won the national championship last year. I think he might get a mulligan, a do over, to come back next year and see what you can do because we always hold coaches, we always say what? He didn't have his players.
Hmm.
So we're going to pretty much crucify him now and say, hey, you didn't have, these are not his players. Even though he knows some of the guys on the team, it's still not his players. It's still not his system. And he's going to run a different system than what Jim Harbaugh ran
Right.
last year. So I'm gonna give him a buy
Hmm.
and say, hey, he might get it done this year. Now, I do have them being in the college football playoff. Now, they didn't lose that much to where they don't know how to win ball games and close games at that.
Well, do you think that by him coaching under Coach Harbaugh, do you think the system is going to be too far different? I don't think it's going to be too different. I think he may add a few wrinkles in the game because people do have film now, so I think he'll
Yeah.
add a few wrinkles to it. But by him
Okay.
being under Coach Harbaugh, as far as a coach, I think he's going to do a lot of the same things. But I don't think like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I think that
True.
he's gonna do a lot of the things that Coach Harbaugh did, but I also think that he's gonna add his own little wrinkle in there, so they don't say, "Oh, that's Coach Harbaugh's team." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. All
But
right.
I
So
yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them winning the Big Ten. I
okay.
think I think this is Ohio State's year. I really think this is Ohio State's year to step up. Um, I mean, they weren't too far last year as far
Yeah.
as getting it done.
Yeah.
Michigan stopped them, but Yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty good, man. Um, I don't think that nowadays that coaches get enough time with a team before they're fired or let go.
Yeah,
Um, it's you got coaches losing their jobs after 2 years, man. We already know that you're not even first year, you don't even have all your players. Second year,
yeah,
your players are new to the system, and
yeah,
then you're fired already. So, a lot of these teams have expectations, but there's only one championship. There's how many NCAA teams out there vying
yeah.
for that national championship? You
True.
know, it's hard. I think it's the hardest championship to get probably in sports.
Yeah, I see you on that, and like I said, I agree with that on Michigan's point of view of him getting another year, but also to your point, coaches are getting fired from a year one or year two. But it's an NIL deal now. It's the NIL years
Yeah.
to where you don't have you don't have time to develop players and all that. You got to go in the portal and get these guys that are already coached up, and then implement
Hmm.
your system, implement what you want done, and then get the ball rolling. But it don't work that way no more and everything. So I think it's very unfortunate. And I think that's why a lot of the coaches are unhappy and why Nick Saban and things like that step down because you can't develop players like you used to because now everybody's like, well, I want to play. And if I don't want to sit here and learn the system for next year, I want to go somewhere and play right now. And that's what happens. So, all right.
Yeah.
So you had Ohio State. All right. So that's number one. Who's your number two?
Yep. Numero uno. Numero uno. Number two. It might shock you with this one. But
Don't say
they've
USC.
always been, huh?
Don't say
Oh no,
USC.
no. I don't have USC at all. At
Okay.
all.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
um, Oregon.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that. Dylan Gabriel
Oregon.
coming in. Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. I got
I
Oregon,
really
man.
can.
I think Oregon's not even past the point of, and I'm gonna say this straight up, man. I think Oregon was real smart with their uniform situation
Mhm.
because we know as black players we like to look nice
Yeah.
on the field.
Yeah.
Even back when we played football,
How
we
Dion
wanted to be
said, look nice, play
we
nice,
we
play
wanted to be
nice,
spatted
get
up.
paid
We
right.
wanted to be So I think their uniform thing
Yeah.
still attracts some good players because they want to have those 35 uniforms a season.
Yeah.
Um, but just not only that, but offensively, Oregon has always been pretty good, man.
Yeah.
They get those California players now, going up to Oregon to play ball, and that's why SC used to be so good because SC used to get all the Cali players, and
Yeah.
even like the surrounding California players like Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas, team, even the big, Samoan guys and stuff. Now,
Yeah.
even the Samoan guys are going to different schools around California and not just sticking to SC. But Oregon's going to be strong. Oregon's going to be
Well,
strong.
you got
Now,
Dan Lanning that's bringing that SEC flavor
yes.
to Oregon, Eugene,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So, and also too, it depends on the coach. If right now you got DeBoer going from Washington. Now he's at Alabama. You
Mm-hmm.
got Lanning going from the SEC to Oregon. Of course, you got Brent Venables going from Clemson to Oklahoma. Uh, you got what's the coach name, man? That was at Duke. It's just my mind, but now he's at Texas A&M. So you
Mm-hmm.
got so it's not only players, you got coaches from different regions. Back on the West Coast, it used to be called the West Coast offense.
Mm-hmm.
So West Coast coaches, when they go to a different conference, they're still bringing the West Coast offense.
Spreading them out.
Saying
Yeah, they
they're
spreading them
not they're
out.
not saying, okay, we're in the Big 12, so we got to spread them out. Oh, we're not in the Big 10. We got to, get tough in the trenches. We're not going to the SEC to where you got to get big, fast, physical linebackers and defensive ends. You go to ACC, same thing. So it's all about the coaches. If you get a coach from a different region, he's going to bring what he knows to that region. It might work, it might not work.
Yeah, that's what
So
I was gonna say. What do you think? Like, so of course, um, the Big Ten is not used to the spread them out West Coast offense. You got four, maybe five big, huge receivers catching the ball all over the place. Do you
yeah,
think that the the Pac-12 teams are going to come in and do the same thing, and the Big Ten is going to have to get used to them? Or do you think that the Pac-12 is going to come in and try to do the same thing, but they got to now get used to the defenses of the Big Ten?
I think they got to get used to it because it's only four of them transitioning over into a physical aspect of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you had Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, uh, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and let's say Nebraska going into the Pac-12, now you're asking big physical guys to cover quick, fast receivers. And that's what Nick Saban's problem always was when he got mad about guarding the spread offense with a quarterback like when Johnny Manziel ate him up. Kyler Murray gave him trouble. Trevor
Mm-hmm.
Knight gave him trouble when he beat uh, Alabama. You're asking 245-pound physical linemen to now have to go lateral and
Mm-hmm.
guard 160, 180-pound receiver in open space.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard because the SEC is known for ground and pound, physical run offenses, and play action here and there. Now the Big 12 is going into the SEC because now everybody in the SEC want to spread the ball out. They want to go
Right.
to an open, there ain't no I formations no more. There is no power I. There is no two tight ends, and let's just get physical with you. Everybody wants to go to a spread offense. Why? Because it looks sexy to recruits. Who won't? You mean tell me a five-star running back that has 4,000 yards rushing in high school for his freshman, sophomore, junior year, and senior year gonna go to the SEC and he gonna do I formation and run behind like some big guys? You don't want to do that. You want to get in open space
Mm-hmm.
and you want to be able to use your versatility and everything to what get yards. So
Right. I
it's
mean,
hard, man.
unless you are in the Big Ten and you behind a big huge physical line like a Wisconsin or Nebraska where you got these huge lines, and we're
Oh yeah,
telling you as a running back, because you're not a small running back with speed, you're a huge guy yourself.
yeah,
You know, hey, we know that, well, Big Ten, snowy games, rainy
yeah,
games,
yeah.
games where you can't just throw the ball. There
And
are
that's gonna come
times
into
when
fact, man. That's gonna come into play. Uh,
mm-hmm,
I'm going to tell you, I think, and they can call me a homer or whatever. I think Oklahoma lost their game to Kansas because of rainy conditions. You
mm-hmm.
had three turnovers in that game. Two of them came from they punted the ball to you. The ball came in your hand and you dropped it.
Yeah,
It's raining,
I mean,
so
fact fact
but it's a,
fact
but
of the matter
but it's a
is,
part of the game though. It's a part of the game
yeah,
though. So I don't want
oh
nobody
yeah,
to say, "Hey, you a homer and you just making excuses." No,
hmm,
they still lost.
yeah. Fact of the matter is, real story. I did radio in Minneapolis for 10 years.
Mhm.
I was on the radio. Um, I left California to move to Minnesota to do
Okay,
radio. People would say, "Oh, you'll get used to the cold weather."
you never
Never,
get used to the.
never. I never did. 10 years, a decade, I was there struggling in the winters. Being cold in North Carolina is different from being cold in Minnesota.
In
I didn't even
Chicago and
know you could
Pittsburgh.
go,
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could go below zero. And I'm seriously, Minnesota has heated bus stops where you can sit in the bus stop and be heated while you're waiting
Yeah.
on the bus. The whole
Yeah.
downtown Minneapolis is made with skywalks, so you never have to leave the buildings.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is, at 12 below zero, I can't imagine. Gophers have an outside stadium. I can't. Penn State outside stadium. Ohio State outside.
Do you think
Michigan
they do that on
outside.
purpose?
Yeah, yeah. it's they're
Gives him
used to
an
that.
advantage.
It gives them an advantage, man. Like I couldn't imagine growing up playing football how I did in Cali, and we had to play in bad weather. I would not know what I mean. Even catching a hard football like that, like come
Oh
on,
yeah,
man. I think it's gonna
conditions
be a
matter.
big, it's gonna be a big shock, man. I mean, you got Cali players. I bet you could watch Cali football when they showing up to practice. These guys are in shorts and flip flops.
Yeah,
Like
no more of
they
that.
don't care about that weather is nothing, man. Like that weather's gonna get them. That weather's gonna get them.
Okay,
I seriously want you to mark this down. I seriously think that SC is gonna get exposed this year. I don't think that SC. I don't think the Lincoln Riley even has the SC heart. Now, and what I mean about that is,
some
if
folks
you
say
got
he got
hired
one
to
leg already out the door.
if you got hired to coach OU basketball, your legacy, you know what it is. OU playing OSU, you know what it
Yes.
is playing rivalry. You have that in your heart. You know, I don't think Lincoln Riley has SC in his heart, and
No,
so
everybody
I,
thought he
I
had
think.
OU in his heart until he decided that you can't be scared of competition.
Mhm,
Playing this game that is what they want to call a man's game or whatever you want to call it. You cannot be scared of competition. And whenever
mhm,
you run, they always say the players take on the identity of their coach.
of the coach, right?
If you are showing your players that you are dodging a conference, they're going to see it.
Hmm.
Everybody wants to go play the SEC. I don't care. That's all you hear now is I want to go play presumably the best. And the last few years at 1A or 1B, Big Ten, SEC, they've been that. So you mean tell me that I'm gonna go to school for 4 years, but I can't play the best conference? What is they gonna
Right.
think? What is they gonna make me think that hey, I'm not I'm it's like this. You play a team and you're doing well and you guys are winning. You're winning and you're like, oh man, we're good. But you're
Hmm.
not playing anybody.
Right. Right.
And then you start playing somebody that has the same caliber of players that you do, and then you
Hmm.
get exposed. That's what
Oh yeah.
OU did that every single CFP. We thought we were so good, and then we got in there and played those physical SEC teams, and we got
Hmm.
exposed. Doesn't mean that we were not talented. It just means that conditioning, strength and conditioning, culture, eating right,
Hmm.
and developing your players means something.
Oh
That's
yeah.
when that comes into effect. Then you can say, "Hey, we tried, but hey, they were just better." I don't
Hmm.
mind you beating me, but I'm not gonna beat
Right.
myself.
Yeah. At least show up. At least show up.
At least
And
show up, man.
yeah.
I
But
I, I agree with you.
I just think SC is gonna be still like they were last year, where they can't stop anybody. They're gonna have to win off of offense, and we know that those Big Ten games, they're not high scoring games. A lot of those games are not high scoring games in the Big Ten, especially when the weather's a factor. But
Yeah,
you do have those elites like the Michigans, Ohio States that can put up some points. But I
yeah.
just I just don't think SC is going to be able to stop anybody with their defense. Offensively, yeah, they can probably go put up some points, but defensively, you know, I don't like I like games that are challenging.
Yeah,
They're stopping each other.
yeah,
Those 45 to 48 games. I don't like games like that. A
yeah.
lot of people say, "Oh, I like it because they're scoring." Yeah, but that's not football.
It's
This ain't.
entertaining. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It's
it's entertaining,
entertaining.
but that's not football, man. I missed a hard hitting, physical football.
Yeah,
I played free safety. My whole thing was that I could from the first whistle, I'm gonna hit the first person I see, so you know that this is what you about to get the whole game.
yeah.
So now
Set the
is
precedence. Set the
yeah,
precedence.
now
This is what you're gonna get all game.
man, I can play receiver right now. That you can't touch me, you can't hit me. Oh man, I have no worries about going across the middle.
Man,
So yeah, I think
going across the middle was a business decision.
Right, right.
They used
And
to
you
say
had to
that.
be half crazy to do it. Like,
Man,
but
look, I
but
think the best person to ever go across the middle and got paid for it was Michael Irvin. He had no fear about
no
running that
fear.
slant.
I mean, because he was halfway bigger than all the strong safeties or the free safeties
Yeah,
that he went up against. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
hey, I don't want to get sidetracked, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. You have the first two you have,
Hmm.
I have, but I haven't flipped.
Okay. So you think Oregon's gonna be number?
I have Oregon number one, Ohio
Hmm.
State number two. And the reason why I have Ohio State number two, I don't really trust Will Howard.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
here,
I seen him. Yeah, go ahead.
but my question is because I don't know too much about the in depth about it, but when they say the best offense, so are they just talking about how many yards they got per
There,
game?
it's subjective, Mike,
Right.
because no games have been played. There is no data to sit here and say, well, this team did this team, this team. What bothers me, and I think would bother a lot of people, is that I think it was like week 9 or week 10. Your teams in the Big Ten are playing caliber opponents. Your teams
Hmm.
in the Pac-12 are playing caliber opponents. The Big
Hmm.
12 playing caliber opponents. But then you have the SEC playing Sister Mary the Blind, playing Citadel,
Hmm.
playing Western Carolina. And I'm
Hmm.
like, but then you say, oh, Alabama, it's all about stacking stats. Oh,
Hmm.
Alabama is averaging 44 points a game and only giving up 10 points. Well, hell, who would you play? You ain't
Right.
played
Right.
nobody with the offense.
Yeah.
You played 6 teams that even not the game against Alabama might have scored 12 points or 15 points or 16 points.
Hmm.
You really don't know how good a team is until they start playing people that are on the same caliber as them.
Right. Right.
So
So you
that
you
was my
so your
biggest thing.
average you averaged they were able to average in a game that they William and Mary to 10 points, but
Yeah,
we just held Ohio State to 17 points.
I would give
Who's
you more
who's
credit
better, you know?
if you was our Ohio State coach and you was playing Penn State and you held Penn State to 21 points and you scored 26, and then Alabama
Right.
played William and Mary and they scored 49 and William and Mary scored 14, I would give you more credit
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
you
Definitely.
played a power five first, power
Hmm.
five first, two in conference opponent,
Hmm.
and three top 25. So I'll give
Yeah.
you 3 credits to that zero. So it don't impress
Hmm.
me that you beat teams like Women Mary or Citadel. My thing is team like OU, Alabama, USC, Oregon, Michigan. Why do you play those teams? I know it's about
Yeah.
giving them money to help their program. I get that. But you got
Hmm.
to play somebody else because this
Yeah.
cupcake scheduling and I mean, because there is no penalty for playing teams like that. They don't get
Yeah.
penalized.
Yeah. It's not. So this next I was reading that this third team, I don't know I don't know too much about them. You would know about them, but they have them ranked number 3. I've seen them play some teams tough.
Okay.
It's something about the Mississippi states and the old misses. They play teams tough. They have number 3. Let's see, the sports grid has Ole Miss at number 3 for top offenses. I really haven't caught a lot of their games because of the region I'm in. We don't see a lot of Ole Miss games, but you can speak on it because you guys
Yeah.
played them a lot or whatever. But what do you think about Ole Miss being number 3 in offense? Are
I
they
think it's
like that for
subjective.
real?
It's subjective. I mean, they do
I mean,
return
but
all
you
three
you
of
can
their.
be subjective, but can you like I can't throw William and Mary in at number 8 to and justify that. Are they justified at being number 3?
I think I would say not number 3, but I
Hmm.
would definitely say in the top 5.
Okay. Wow.
Whenever you have Lane Kiffin, he was
Hmm.
proven. He proved what he could do at Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
but they fired him. He
Right.
proved what he can do at USC. They fired him.
Fired him. Mm-hmm.
Then he came to Alabama, won a championship. He proved what he can do. Now he's at Ole Miss. So if you look at the track record, I think what the sportscasters are doing is they're going off a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Every place he's been, he's excelled and won. This would be what, his third or fourth year there at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
You have a returning starting quarterback that knows your offense, three top receivers that caught for more than 3,000 yards between all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you lost your running back, they were the only team to go into the portal and pretty much just they were giving out stipends. They were just giving out money and just taking
Right.
players.
Right.
But you didn't take players that you needed. You took players just say you got them. And I don't get that
Mm-hmm.
about coaches. If I don't need such and such player, why go in the portal and get somebody just to say, oh well, we got the best so and so, but you didn't need the best so and so.
Well, here's the thing. I think with this NIL stuff, it's opened up a lot of things too, because I know a lot about the record business, right? So I know that the record business will have an artist on their label, right? Then you
Mhm.
got another artist that's out here looking to be signed that's the same as your artist that you've already signed. So the
Mhm.
record label will go sign this other artist to sit him on the shelf because they don't want
Gotcha.
somebody else to sign them and
Else to get
compete
them. I've heard
with
about
your
that.
artist. So
Yeah,
that's what I think a lot of them are doing too. Well, if we can get them, that means nobody else has them.
yeah. I've heard teams doing that. And I'm being honest. I've heard teams doing that, getting someone to eliminate another opponent from getting
Mm-hmm.
that person, and then let that such person sit there on the bench or
Mm-hmm.
maybe contribute, but he's not a threat to me because he's on our team.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get,
But then
well,
too, how happy is that person to be? How many players are we gonna have that's just be making $1 million sitting on the bench? I mean, because you're still trying to get to the next level. So if I'm sitting behind this guy and I'm making $1 million, am I still gonna be happy?
to be honest, Mike, we live in a day and an age to where I think making money is more important than playing.
Mm,
Making
mm,
money is, I mean, you got to think about it. Let's be realistic and take sports away from it. If you're single, if your kid has a single mom and she's
mm-hmm,
struggling, and you guys don't know anything about that final life, and you're telling me that you're going to give me $2 million to come to your school. Now,
mm-hmm.
to some people, man, $2 million is jackpot. You know, we come from
Yeah.
low poverty places and things like that, so we don't know that type of money. So I've
Mm-hmm.
seen players, man, take the money and then say, we'll figure it out later. I'll play somewhere else later. Let's get this bag right now, and I'll still have
Right.
2 years to play somewhere else.
Or get this
I
bag
mean,
before I get seriously injured. We
that's
know
just
that
being
too.
real,
You get
man.
seriously injured.
And
Yeah.
I can't fault
So I
nobody for
mean,
that, man.
yeah. So they got Ole Miss at number 3, man, and then they got a team that did recover last year and played very well in Texas.
Oh, hell
Texas is
no.
ranked number Texas is ranked
Hell
number
no.
4 behind Ole Miss.
Come on, man. Dude,
Tex-
this is what bothers me
Texas
about that.
shocked me last year, though.
But
Texas
no,
did
this is what
shock me
bothered me
last
about
year.
that. This is and
Hmm.
this is not just because I hate Texas. This
I was
is
about to
call it what
say,
it
because you went to OU, man, you probably just hate Texas.
well, this is what it is. It ain't even about that. Let me
Hmm.
just give you a scenario and don't put no team name on it. All right.
Okay.
Let's say you have never won more than 10 games in a
Hmm.
10-year period. Okay. I'm
Hmm.
just gonna say things and then not put a name on it.
Right.
You have not won 10 games or more in 10 years, except one time, which was last year.
Hmm.
You lose 11 players from the previous year that you went to the CFP.
Hmm.
You lose the backbone coach on the defensive line to an SEC school that you're going to. And he did
Mm-hmm.
take some players with him. Those 11 players that you lost two of your top defensive linemen, your number one tight end, your number one running back, and your three top receivers. How do you figure? But your quarterback is coming back. How do you figure that number four?
Yeah, I didn't agree with that one. Like I said, as far as number three with Ole Miss, I didn't know enough about them to disagree. But Texas, I definitely was like, "There's no way. There's no way." Like you said,
They're going
these
off
guys.
last year, man, and that's why I say
Yeah.
this list. That's why I wanted to get with you because this list
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's accurate. Now, don't get me wrong, man, but you have media people or
Mm-hmm.
journalists that sit home behind computers and they study numbers and analytics
Right.
and stats. And then they put it out and then we buy into it and then we buy into
Mm-hmm.
it. But then you have a realist like us who knows football,
Yeah.
who knows sports, regardless of this is just bulletin board material. You
Mm-hmm.
still got to get your ass out there and play the ball game.
Oh yeah, because
Regardless of whatever is said, you still got to get out there and play.
you're gonna laugh at number five though, and I just think no, this has really got to be about analytics because there's no way that Liberty is number five in the country as far as offense. Like,
Don't sleep
who are
on
they?
Liberty.
But no,
Don't
but it
sleep
goes
on
back to what.
Liberty.
But what it goes back to what we were talking about. Who are they playing? Who is
True,
Liberty gonna play?
true,
You
true.
know, if they have a
No,
12-game season, they definitely haven't played Clemson. They definitely haven't. They ain't even probably played North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you
no,
guys are.
man.
It's kind of like those division. You know how they have those Division 1 schools, but they're like 1A. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like, come on, man. Like
Well,
North Dakota State.
what we talked about earlier happened
Mhm.
when you
Yeah.
play a team, when you play teams that are on your level and you do
Hmm.
well, you think, oh man. And this is one thing I hate about the CFP. It's not about who deserves to be there.
Right.
It's about who's earned the right to be there.
Hmm.
I even
Which
think
I
some of
think
these. Yeah, go ahead.
which I think the 12 team system is gonna eliminate a lot of
Oh
that
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
we've
Oh
had
yeah.
we've had teams that deserve to be there that lost in their championship game.
Yes.
So now they'll be able to put teams that lost the championship, they'll be able to put them in the playoffs because they deserved it. They only lost 2 games, and the 2 games that they lost was the one team who won the championship.
Yeah.
you know. So I think
Well,
that's what's a great thing about them opening up. I still think you always gonna have those teams on the bubble that be like, well, we should be number 10, we should be number 11. I think you always gonna have those, but I thought that they did right by not putting Florida State in last year. You lost your
I think
you
that was right. I think it was right,
yeah.
but you got to start taking fair out of the equation
Hmm.
when you're
Yeah.
talking about who deserves who
Hmm.
deserves to be there.
Yeah.
Now,
Because we know
Liberty,
injuries are a part of the game.
yeah.
And if this team went 14-0, but they just lost their starting quarterback, they just lost their best wide receiver, they just you're no longer that team.
What hurt them is the starting quarterback got hurt.
Hmm.
The second string quarterback got hurt,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then you on the third string quarterback. So you
Uh-huh.
go and play a team in Louisville in the ACC championship, and you
Right.
score what? What was the final score? You scored like
It was like
14, 15 points, 16 points,
yeah, 17 to 14, something like it was they didn't score a lot of points.
and you
Yeah.
saying that you deserve to be there. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt bad for him, but I think it was the right decision. But
Part of the
back
game,
on,
man. It's part of the
but back
game.
onto
It's part of
Liberty.
the game.
Liberty went to the Fiesta Bowl, and the same thing that we just said happened to them. They played Oregon and got their ass embarrassed.
Yeah.
They beat the
Yeah.
brakes off them, dude.
And
It
nobody
was
and nobody wants to see nobody wants to see was it TCU and Georgia again. They don't want to see
no,
that no more. And I think
no.
that game had a big part of why Florida State was not put in, because nobody was trying to see a championship game where you don't got beat, like totally beat down.
Well, man, it was. I mean, yeah, they had some guys opt out, but I can't punish Georgia for Florida State guys opting out. And I don't think
Yeah.
if they opt
No.
out, Georgia still whooped the shit out of them. To be honest,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's like you told me a few weeks ago, there's levels to this game, and
There's
I and and I,
levels.
and,
Yeah.
and I believe that. I believe that there are levels to this game. Is that you might think that you got to this level, but
Mm-hmm.
there's another level, that elite level that you got to get
Yeah.
to, and there aren't that many elite teams out there right now. Everybody is trying to get there, but there aren't that many elite players out there. I mean, excuse me, elite
Right.
teams out there. So I
Mm-hmm.
agree with you on Liberty, man. I I had somebody else there that you ain't gonna like, and I'll be honest. I had your boy there, USC.
Nah.
Hold
Nah.
on, hold on. The only reason is the players that are coming back are the same ones that played in the bowl game.
You had them at five
Five,
or at
five,
five. Okay.
five.
I'm writing that
And
down.
look,
I'm writing that down.
Lincoln. No, well, look, Lincoln. Like you said earlier, they're going into the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State, who scores a lot of points? Who scores a lot of points?
But we're going back to how the conference is. The conference is
Offense,
run the ball, power, run the ball, bad
offense.
weather. You know what I'm saying?
When
Well,
Oklahoma went down there,
Michigan State puts up points. We know Iowa don't put up no points. Northwestern doesn't put up points.
no, dude, you
Um,
only got four.
yeah,
You only got four.
yeah,
So when we
yeah.
say like the SEC is top heavy, it's top heavy now in the Big Ten. You got Oregon, Washington, USC, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State.
But what are those teams going to look like with a team who can't stop nobody?
Well, we're not on defense yet, so
No,
this is
I'm
all
saying
offense.
I'm saying as far as you're talking about who's going to put up
Offense,
points against their
yeah.
offense.
Lincoln
Yeah,
is going to put up points. He just can't stop nobody.
yeah, yeah.
He couldn't. And look, man, when we went up there to play Ohio State in 2017, and we beat them 31-16
Mm-hmm.
at the O. Beat him, and I mean beat him. That's the year that Baker planted that flag at center at midfield, and they went crazy. But
Yeah, he
Lincoln
shouldn't have
can
been
score
able to make it
points.
out of Ohio doing that.
Man, look, ain't no way. I got too much pride. You just beat me.
You're
You're
right.
not gonna embarrass me. You're not
No,
gonna disrespect me
no.
like that. I mean, no,
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna be
ain't getting out
fighting.
of that stadium without a butt whooping. Yeah.
No, we
So
fighting.
yeah.
So
So
USC,
those
but I
those are
think go ahead.
no. You about to justify USC.
I just think that Lincoln is going to score points. He's going to draw up plays. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, most of their games are in the Coliseum
Mm-hmm.
this year. They got blessed. Most of their games were in the Coliseum. They got 7 games in the Coliseum. No,
Mm-hmm.
6 games. 6 games in the Coliseum, and then they got 5 games away.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing the hard teams. They're only playing 2 hard teams. They're not playing Ohio State, are they? I don't think they're playing Ohio State.
No, they LSU hard team, Michigan hard team. I don't. I've watched a lot of Big Ten football. Wisconsin's a hard team.
Okay.
Wisconsin plays their brand of ball. They got Penn
Okay.
State. hard team. I just looked up. It's funny. Maryland and Rutgers defense is ranked higher than SC. Like they're in the
Wow.
top 50. They're in the top 50. Nebraska, hard team. UCLA, Nebraska, UCLA defenses top 50. Notre
Okay.
Dame. So they have at least 7 hard games on their schedule.
Okay.
That
Well,
a few, a few of those 7, they're not 50-50. They have about four games that could be 50-50. But
yeah, but
yeah,
look,
they're
okay. You start out at LSU.
mm-hmm.
That might be a gimme. It might be. It might be. I don't know. All right.
Well,
And
LSU's
then
defense is ranked 43rd.
okay. And then you play Utah State, win.
Yeah. So
Okay. And then
LSU's offense is top 10, and LSU's defense is top
I
50.
don't say it's top 10, man. You just lost the Heisman Trophy candidate. You just lost the
Yeah,
Heisman Trophy person. Right? I mean,
but
I mean,
but you know, with the NIL, you can get you a quarterback
yeah,
if you
but
got
the
if you got
quarterback that you
offensive
got
players
ain't
around him.
ain't he ain't known.
He don't have to be known, but he can get known. We know that
But
he can get known.
okay, I mean, well,
Well,
I'm gonna love to
to
see this
me,
because we know Brian Kelly don't like paying. He don't like paying players.
well, to me, that's one of those 50-50 games because first off, it's the first game of the season.
Okay.
So it's not like the NFL where you don't have 4 or 5 preseason games. You
Okay.
know, anybody can get beat on that first game. And so
Okay.
that's why a lot of times I don't even like that playing somebody hard on the first game because that one game that you lost back when they had a 4-team system could take you out of the playoffs.
But it could help you too. It could
Help if you
springboard
win.
you.
If you
It
win,
could springboard. But you remember when they used to give credit for you playing the hard teams?
yeah, yeah.
We need to get back to that. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
penalize you because you had, that you were brave enough to play tough teams. I
Okay,
don't.
well,
Okay.
gymnastics. They don't penalize the girls who go out there and do a harder routine than the girls who's doing a light routine. You
Okay.
get higher points for trying to do the harder stuff because you're trying to do the harder stuff. Because, like you said, that equates to playing a harder team. If you get a harder team that you're playing, you should get way more credit and points than playing, some teams that aren't that good at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I agree with that. I still feel like, man, is that I think USC is going to. I think Lincoln's hearing all the people talk about he ain't this, he ain't that. I mean, yeah, you went out there and got Todd Orlando. He might work out. He might stop the bleeding a little bit. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but if they don't go out there and I'm not gonna say make a statement, but they don't go out there and prove that they belong in the Big Ten, I think
Mm-hmm.
you're right. I think he might be on the hot seat. Uh, from what I'm hearing, he's already got one leg out the door. But you can't ask your players to go and fight for you and claw for you and do everything for you, and then you don't believe in your own team.
Yeah. I mean, we know there's an intimidation factor that comes with games. When you got Ohio State coming in, man, these dudes are huge. I mean, I played football in college, man. We've seen guys on film, but then when you see them dudes, man, on
In
the
person.
field,
In
you
person.
like, yeah, you you looking at this dude, you like, oh, that's the tight end we saw on film. Oh, that's not him. Oh, they got another one that big. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's intimidation. So, like you said, if SC don't come out in the Big Ten and punch people in the mouth, they're not gonna get the respect they're supposed to have as far as having that Trojan on their helmet. Because we know they're
No.
one of the most elite programs out there. And
Yeah.
like I said, he's not a Trojan. So I don't know, man. They should have hired a former Trojan. I'm sorry, to get us back to where we supposed to be and had that pride of being a USC
Who would
Trojan.
they wouldn't got though?
Ah, man.
Pete Carroll
Well,
ain't coming back.
no, he's not.
He ain't
And
coming
Pete,
back.
but you know what? But you know what? I'm gonna say Pete Carroll was something totally different though, because what people don't know, Pete Carroll was in the hood at night.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll would come to the hood at night and talk to young black kids in the hood. Pete Carroll was that dude as far as us supporting the team in SC because he supported the community. So he was
Yeah.
a total different coach. But you're gonna love who I got at number 6.
All right.
I
Yeah.
had
But I love, like I said, we need to get our own little podcast on at nighttime, man. Just start talking about some stories that me and you got, man. We can go for days, both of us, because we
oh
both, man,
yeah.
have the stories to go for days. But I'm gonna try to
I,
get us back on track because I know
yeah, I
and
got I
everything
got
you got.
I
Go
got
ahead.
Oklahoma at number 6. I got Oklahoma at number 6. I
I got
got
him at
your
7.
squad at number 6.
I
Huh?
got him at 7. I got him at
But
7.
see, I put them in front of Tennessee. I know Tennessee was nationally put at number 6, but I got you guys at number 6, and I got Tennessee at 7.
Mm, From a from offensive side of it, I can see that. I can see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the end of the season, it's definitely gonna look like that. But
Yeah, and then too,
you're
we take it into the account of the Liberties being in there and the Ole
yeah.
Misses being there ahead of them. I think they're gonna jump over those teams too.
Yeah. Well, I think Oklahoma or Tennessee can be what 6A, 7A,
Mm-hmm.
7B,
Yeah,
7A.
yeah.
I mean, because they're
Mm-hmm.
right in the neck and neck. You got the only thing different is Jackson Arnold played in about 5 games last year. He's been in the
Mm-hmm.
system for 2 years. Nico from Tennessee, he only played in the bowl game last year. And
Mm-hmm.
you really can't take that and run with it because they played Iowa.
Right.
Iowa wasn't going to score no points anyway. They were not going. I mean, no,
No.
let's just be real.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't score points in the Big Ten. So now you're telling me you
Right.
playing a high power offense in the SEC? No, I knew that game was over at halftime, man. But he went off in the bowl game, and perception is all they see. They see Nico went off against a top 10 defense,
Mm-hmm.
and Jackson Arnold threw for 365 yards, but he threw 3 picks against a so-called good defense in Arizona. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's subjective because
Yeah.
you you plan. I mean, Iowa is a smash mouth, stop the run defense.
Mm-hmm.
But when you spread them out and make them guard people and they got to go lateral, left to right, and they got to go back, and you got a 260-pound end trying to guard a 6 foot, 175-pound wide receiver. That's a mismatch.
Yeah. And plus,
And also
Iowa.
he's gonna be tired before halftime because he's guarding that guy, and they just, hey, you just gonna run a 9 route. just
Yeah.
go, just go run a
And
9 route.
Iowa doesn't have those 4 and 5 star recruits. Like you said, they have a lot of guys that probably got coached up,
Yeah,
and they have a lot of guys who it's not one of those track teams. They don't have a track
true,
team. They don't.
true.
They may have a couple guys that's 4-4, but they don't have that whole team where you got linemen running 4.8s and 4.7s.
Thoroughbreds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got 500-pound dudes running 4.7, 4.6. You like what in the world? But yeah, they don't have all they Iowa is that team where they're gonna hang with you because out of your overall rated 98, you're putting the 96 out there with that person. But then when they
yeah,
come off the bench, you got this 87 or 88 trying to compete with a 98. They got
true.
that type of team. So yeah, no, and nobody's looking to go to Iowa to play ball. I think
No,
those are
no.
I think those are the guys who got something to prove because the bigger teams overlooked them and they kind of fell through, you know. back when they was just about scholarships. This guy
Yeah.
who's in Chicago, who was the second or third best on his high school team that just won just won a championship, a state championship. He's the third receiver on that team, and he's not
Yeah.
getting good, Division I looks. But then here
Yeah.
comes Iowa saying we're gonna give you a full ride. They get those guys.
Yeah. Well, they get the leftovers pretty much.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's, I don't
definitely.
want to say that in a disrespectful way, because going to a predominant school like Iowa isn't bad. Don't get
No,
me
it's
wrong.
not. It's not.
It's
Because
just
you're gonna be
that
on
you
national
don't.
television some games,
Yes. Yes.
and you're gonna be on a team who normally wins. They normally get some good wins.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Um, my, well, like you said, six was Oklahoma. Six, I had Tennessee. I'm pretty sure you who would you have number seven?
I got Georgia.
You got Georgia at number seven. Okay. So why Georgia? I mean, well, I know that
Well,
Beck's back.
like I said, I kind of flipped some of those that Ole Miss Liberty stuff is just bothering me. Like I
No,
said,
no.
Liberty, yeah,
This
you
is
may,
this is what they said, and we're going to be subjective, and we're
yeah,
going to say I don't, because like we said before in the podcast, it's all the eye test.
yeah, yeah.
They think one
So
thing, we think different.
I think Georgia still has some great athletes. Uh,
Okay.
they put up numbers, man. They
Yeah.
put up numbers. The offensively, they put up numbers. I don't think
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
nobody in their division is messing with them like that. They got some big guys, man, and their defense turns the ball over. So I think they're going to have a lot of offensive opportunity.
That's what I was getting
And
ready to say. When you got a defense
yeah,
like that that's getting you the ball multiple times, you're going to score a lot of
mhm.
points. You're going to
Right,
score a lot of
right.
points.
So I think
So
with that being that they're going to have a lot of opportunity to put up some numbers, I think that's going to affect where they are as far as top 10. So I
okay.
got Georgia at number 7.
I got Georgia at number 8. I got Georgia at number
Okay.
8. And the only reason I got them at number 8, man, is because what you just said. The
Mm-hmm.
defense get them the ball so many times. When you have a number that is like they ran 85 plays and the other team ran 45 plays,
Right,
you
right.
you just pretty much almost doubled what the other team ran, because you're getting me more opportunities to score points.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
Yes.
they've been the top heavy team in the SEC for the last 3 years. Alabama just beat them last year in the championship game. It was unexpected, but Alabama came in there and
Yeah.
played that game.
Yeah, they
But when
balled
you look at,
out.
yeah, but Georgia's been the stepping stone,
Mm-hmm.
or the head dog on the porch
Yeah.
for the
I just
last
think
three or
they
four
got to the
years.
point where they weren't sneaking up on anybody anymore. Georgia
No,
had been
everybody
bad.
knows what to expect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Georgia had been bad for so many years, man. And then next thing you know, they whooping up on people. And we got great coaches out there, man. They watch that film. They know what you do best. They know what to take away, which side of the field to take away. They know which side to make the quarterback run left or right. Man, it is so much. So
no,
I got them at number 7. I got Miami in there at number 8.
wow,
I think
for real.
Miami's going to put up some points this year. They're making a turnaround. A lot of those old Miami players is coming back to support the
Okay,
team. And the mentality they had back in the day.
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So I think
yeah.
they're getting some of that old hardcore Miami mentality. You remember that team? I mean, they did get beat, but that team that showed up at the national championship with camouflage on,
Oh yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
yeah, the boys
They,
was bad, man. The boys
hey
was
man,
bad.
they
But
they were they were always feared.
yeah, but Penn
They were
State didn't
always
fear
feared.
them. That's the thing. Penn State didn't fear them, and Penn State punched them in the mouth.
Well, a lot of teams are going to be like that, man. When you come in there, and if you come in there and be disrespectful to a team that you're going to play, that
Mm-hmm.
tends to happen.
Oh yeah,
When you come
like
in
what they
there
say.
and
What they say when they give you chalkboard material or
material.
whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because yeah, they was wasn't it it was some type of thing they had in the paper. The thugs against the Christians
yes,
or the
yes.
something against the something.
That was that
And I
was
was
that
like,
was the
come
Notre
on,
Dame
man,
game. That was the
really?
Notre Dame game.
I'm like, come on, man. We
Yeah,
we
thugs
really
against
doing that?
Christians. Yeah,
You know?
thugs against Christians.
But hey, I had
Like everybody on Notre Dame came from a Christian background. Like, come on,
no,
man.
no, it ain't coming from the background. Well, my next one, man, at number 8, I had Georgia at number 8. My number 9, man, is definitely gonna shock you because I got Alabama. I got Alabama number 9.
I'm not shocked about that. I'm not shocked about that
Just cause the
because
coach left don't mean dude, 'cause they got it everywhere.
I got Alabama at number 9.
Okay, okay, we on the same page
I,
then. Okay.
yeah, I got Alabama at number 9. That's funny. I got Alabama at number 9, and then I had LSU at 10.
Okay. Well,
But I Alabama because Alabama
it's
they don't
Alabama.
never lose too much. They lose too much. They always reloading.
Yeah.
They always reloading. Matter of fact, I think Alabama may be the team players because I think they're like if they had a stat on which team is the most loaded that loses players that goes to other teams and are good, you
Hmm.
know, I think Alabama would probably be leading in. You got, let's say you come to camp and you got 9 to 10 wide receivers, and
Yeah.
6 of them are 5-star. Like there's only one ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying,
It's,
man. That's Alabama, man. They don't,
yeah.
they said teams like Alabama and Florida State back in the day, Clemson, they say they
Mm-hmm.
don't they don't rebuild, they reload.
Reload. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Anytime you got a player's mama at his signing with another team, and his mama say, "Oh, you ain't going to Alabama? I'm getting up, walking."
That was wrong
You
for
know
them
you
to do
got a
that.
good team, bro. Like
That's
his
gonna
mama said,
be
"I'm out of here."
that's gonna be on YouTube forever, man. Whenever you look at that.
Bro, she act like nigga came to her personally and said, "Look, if your son comes, we're gonna give you $4 million in your account." That's how she acted. Like,
Yeah, that was wrong of her to do that, man.
yeah, she probably
So,
regrets it. She probably regrets it. She probably regrets it.
oh yeah,
Definitely.
oh yeah.
How can
All
you
right.
not?
Well, we're
You know
gonna.
what I'm saying? It's especially when he balled out at Florida. He
He
balling
did.
out at Florida.
He did, but I think he's transferring this year.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
think he's transferring this year. I believe I saw that on a media outlet that he's transferring uh out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I know for a fact that Ole Miss got one of Alabama's running backs. And
Wow.
then I think that
Which
Florida, one of Florida's running backs got hurt today, and
mm,
I want to get the information on that because I don't want to say it's definite until I definitely know. Because having a podcast, man, you definitely don't want to put the wrong thing out there, man. And someone
oh yeah.
call in or email to me, hey, you were wrong about that. I just
Yeah.
heard from somebody else, so I'm gonna put it out there,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely don't know.
Yeah.
So,
So the next
all right,
time when we're
well,
gonna get into the top 10, we're gonna get into the top 10 defenses next time.
we're gonna get in defense, man, because like I said, we're gonna get in defense real quick, and then we're gonna jump in and get
Well, did
our
you say who you had at number 10?
oh, my number 10. You ain't gonna like it. My number 10 is Clemson.
Oh, okay. I mean that's a
Second
winning
year
program,
under
man. I can't
Raleigh,
be mad at that.
second year under Raleigh Lincoln and everything, man. They're gonna be balling. And you got to look at it, man. They had a young quarterback that was thrown
Mm-hmm.
into a situation last year, mid-season, learning a whole new offense. I'm pretty sure he didn't get all the numbers with the ones. He didn't get he didn't get with the ones. He
Mm-hmm.
got with the twos and
He didn't get
threes.
the reps. Yeah, he didn't get the
But
reps.
then to
Yep.
ask him to come into the games in the seventh or eighth game and play it all the way out to the season, he was ill equipped. He wasn't
Yeah.
equipped to go in there and do those things. And of course, the playbook's gonna be real small. It's not gonna be the whole playbook. You can't run all
Right.
the plays you have with a guy that haven't had all the reps with the ones, because the ones might know everything, and then the freshmen don't know a Z route or X route, or if you're gonna dig in, if you're gonna dig out. Is he going to that that quarterback receiver connection is very important
Mm-hmm.
in OTAs.
Yeah. And one thing too, I can't be mad at that, man. I can't be mad at that because you know why?
Wow.
Clemson has a top 5 defense. So he's gonna
They
get a
do.
lot. He's gonna get a lot of opportunity because Clemson has a top 5 defense. So they're gonna be
I
taking the
think they
ball
still have
away.
the players since Brent left. They still have the same coach that learned under Brent, that still
Mm-hmm.
runs Brent's style of defense. And they were decent last year. I mean, they didn't fall off that much. They didn't fall off to the
Yeah.
point to where
I mean,
they
they
didn't know
weren't
what they
getting
were doing.
blown out of games,
No,
even though they
the
weren't.
offense just struggled. The
Yeah.
defense got them the ball back plenty of time, but the offense just struggled.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
whenever you bring in a whole new OC, and don't get me wrong, his brother, he did wonders at TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Took it to the national championship game.
Yeah.
They did good, but you got to get the skill players that you need to run that offense, and they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the skill players that he needed to run that offense.
Right. Well,
So,
throw some
but
money out there. We know you can get them now.
oh well, that's the whole point. That's one thing
It ain't
about
the point. It ain't the point of sitting on the couch and trying to finesse the mom and dad and finesse the player no more. Hey, we got $8 million for you. What you gonna do?
hey,
Like,
one thing that you don't know, Dabo don't do that.
right, right.
He don't go in the portal. He don't. He said he
Well,
will not go in the portal.
well,
And
he
I
gonna
think
have to learn. He gonna have to do something.
some of the fans are livid that he stick to his guns and he says he's not going to go in the portal. And
Well, that's gonna be his downfall.
well, I don't want to say that, but I think that it's heading that way because you can't allow other teams around you to get better and you stay stagnant.
Hmm. Yeah,
You
that's
say,
it. It's gonna be his
well,
downfall.
I'm going to coach my freshmen and my sophomores and my juniors. But when you coach your freshmen, and I'm not against you getting high school players and develop them. I'm not against that. I think that's wonderful.
Hmm.
But if you're in a win now, we're in a win now league to where
Hmm.
you have to go get the best players to come,
Right.
because put you like this. Let's say Dabo has the number one recruiting class. And most time that's what, 25, 30 players that you get,
Hmm.
the freshmen.
Hmm.
So that means those 30 freshmen are going to start from day one. So the first year is going to be a struggle. Second
Hmm.
year, you'll get better. By the third year, they're catching on. Then the fourth year, they're going to be special. You mean tell me that the ADs and the administration are going to wait 4 years for you to get better when you can go and get players right now that are already ready?
Hmm.
That's the thing that I don't like about Clemson. That I mean, I love the program, man. I love Dabo, man, but I just think that you have to change with the times. And I think,
What I think is that there's one thing that's evident in every program that's successful, and there's the one common denominator, and it doesn't have anything to do with the field or the coaches.
okay,
It's the boosters. It's the
yeah,
boosters. When the boosters start speaking out against you, yeah,
yeah.
you're pretty much gone. You're pretty much gone.
Well, he's
So if he's
won
not,
them two championships, so I don't
if he
think he's
if he's
gone.
But I'm saying, like, I'm talking about not now, but I'm saying, like, eventually, if he's not appeasing the boosters and the boosters are saying, hey, dude, you got this wide receiver out here who's trash, but we had one in the portal we could have got. I was willing to sign this check to get him. Why didn't you get him?
He's standing on business. He's standing on business.
He's going to be standing out of business. There's a lot of good places go out of business.
Boy, you stupid, man. He's gonna be standing on
you
business.
know,
But hey,
hey,
I mean, you can't.
Red Lobster been doing business a long time, but they closing up.
Man, look, you stupid man. Hey, well, before we get sidetracked, we're going out of business. We're gonna jump on to the defense side, man, and we're gonna speed through this, man, because I really want to get to our first, who we think our first 12 team CFP would look like,
Okay.
and who you
I,
got going
I,
where. So
we
I'm gonna
be,
let you zoom to your
I'm
10,
gonna zoom through mine real quick.
and then we'll jump back and
Okay.
try to anything that don't sound right, and we'll talk about it. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. So one, I got Michigan. Two, my one and two could be flipped. One and two, Michigan, Ohio State. I got three, Clemson. Four, Iowa. Five, Georgia. Six, Oregon. Seven, Nebraska. Eight, Notre Dame. Nine, Penn State. And my 10, I dug deep for this one.
Okay,
I got Mizzou.
okay,
But
okay.
but I was Mizzou, Wisconsin. I was flipping. Mizzou, Wisconsin.
All right. So say yours again. I get this right.
One and two, Michigan and
Okay.
Ohio State. I'm flipping them. They
Okay.
can be flipped.
Okay.
Three, Clemson. Four, Iowa.
Okay.
Five, Georgia. Six, Oregon. Seven, Nebraska. Eight, Notre Dame. Nine, Penn State. And 10, it can be flipped, Mizzou or Wisconsin.
Okay. All right. I wrote yours down. Now I'm gonna give you mine, and we're gonna compare.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Defense. Number one, I got Ohio State.
Okay.
All right. Number two, I got Georgia.
Mm,
Number three, I got Notre Dame.
mm,
Number four, I got Michigan.
mm,
Number five, I got Penn State. Number six, I got Iowa. Number seven, I got Oregon. Number eight, I got Oklahoma. Number nine, I got Alabama. And number 10, I got Clemson.
okay. So you don't have Nebraska in there nowhere.
The only reason why I don't have Nebraska is Nebraska's schedule is vicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the offense is ready to make that jump yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I both know, if the running game ain't good and the offense ain't good, your defense is going to be on that field for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to make the stats go down because you don't have the depth to have those. Because this is Rule's second year. So
Mm-hmm.
he's turning it around, which he has done it at Baylor as well. He can turn it around, but I just think, man, that he's a year away from that defense being nasty because he is getting the right
Okay.
players there because his philosophy is nasty, physical, and aggressive players.
Mm-hmm. It was
The
funny that
kind
we
that
were talking about.
see ball, eat ball.
It's funny because we were talking about. Remember we were talking about Rutgers, right? We were talking about
Yeah,
Rutgers, but Rutgers is in the top 50 for defense.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, not Rutgers, like
Um,
you know.
what's his name? Shano. God, I knew his name, but he used to coach. Yeah, man, he was a defensive coach at Ohio State. And
Mm-hmm.
then Shoshano, something like that. Golly, it's killing me. He was a defensive coach at Ohio State, and he left to go back to Rutgers.
Do you watch a lot
So,
of Wisconsin football?
oh yeah,
So where would you have Wisconsin as far as, I mean, I know they're not in your top
12,
10, huh?
12,
12.
12.
Okay, okay.
I have,
I just want to see where you were with Wisconsin because, like I said, I watched a lot of Big Ten football being in Minnesota, being in Minneapolis, and Wisconsin was always one of them teams you just did not want to play.
I started watching Wisconsin when they got OU's backup quarterback 2 years ago, and
Okay.
and they've always had a great defense. They've always had a
Mm-hmm.
great defense. But there again, you got to be subjective. Whenever they
Yep.
got to the Big Ten championship game, what happens? They get embarrassed
Yeah.
because you playing the Iowas, you playing the Rutgers, you playing the Indianas, you playing the
Northwestern.
Maryland and Northwestern. You're playing
Yeah.
that side of the schedule, so you're developing. Well, you are subjectively misleading your stats. Your stats
Yeah,
are misleading.
but when they did play some good teams, though, it wasn't like they were getting blown out all the time.
Man, they played
They weren't
Ohio
playing
State in
them.
championship game and got beat 44-10, man.
Yeah, but but look who we talking about though. We talking about
Yeah.
the cream of the crop. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
hey, you still
it
got to go
was
play.
it wasn't too many teams that Ohio State didn't blow out that year. You know, like
True, true.
so
No,
we got what we said. We got 12 teams in the playoffs.
yeah, I'm gonna jump on. Okay, we are pretty much close on the defense. We're
Hmm.
close on that. I mean, we have one
Yeah,
or two
just
or
a
three
few
off,
here and there. Yeah, scattered
but
around.
we both feel like that those teams are going to be in the cream of the crop for the best defense when it's all said and done because we are one or two off, probably three.
We were
But
definitely
I
off
mean,
on Oklahoma. I don't have Oklahoma in top 10.
the only reason why I got them, man, you got nine starters on defense back on the 3-year system, and you gave up 22.3 points a game last year, and you went 10-3. So you
No,
returned.
you saying that because you used to get some of that booster money. You ain't.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Right.
uh, um, but if you look at it, to have the first year to have the 12-team playoff, I'm excited about this, man, because this is what everybody's been wanting. This is
Mm-hmm.
what everybody's been begging for. I mean, when we had the BCS, they were crying about that. Then we got
Right.
the CFP, they were crying about that. Now we got a
Mm-hmm.
12 team. And guess what? They crying about that already. They want to go to 16 teams.
Teams through 10 and 11, teams through 10 and 12 gonna be crying.
Yes, they're gonna be crying and everything,
It,
man.
it's
But you
it's gonna
gotta,
be just like basketball when you got these bubble teams that think they should have got in. It's gonna be the same way.
yeah. All right. So this is how it is. It's from the BCS college football website, the criteria
Mm-hmm.
that they're going for. They're saying that 1 through 4 get a bye.
Mm-hmm.
1 through 4 get a bye.
Probably the
Then they
teams that won the teams that won their championships. Probably, yeah.
well they from the major the the Big Ten, the
Mm-hmm.
SEC, the
Mm-hmm.
ACC, the Big Ten. I mean the Big 12.
Big 12, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna do it like this, and then we'll try to get up out of here. I know you got yours and everything. So we got 1 through 4. Who do you got is your top four? If you had a top four to go through, who do you got?
I got Ohio State.
Where's it at? Number one, number two, number three, number four.
No, number one. Number one. I think
All
Ohio
right.
State's gonna do it this year.
All right. I'm gonna put mine up there, and then you do yours, and then we'll compare. All right. Okay. All right. So who do you got? Okay. Okay. Let's do it like this. Who do you got winning the SEC? Who you got?
I, I think Georgia's gonna come back.
That's who I got. I got Georgia. I got Georgia as number one.
Yeah,
I got Georgia as the SEC champion.
yeah. I got Georgia's coming. So that's two. This Ohio State with Big Ten. I got
Hmm.
Georgia winning the SEC.
You got who win
Um,
the ACC?
no, I said the SEC.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Ace, the ACC, the ACC. Oh man, that's gonna be tough, man. That's gonna be tough. But I think if Florida State gets quarterback, man, I think Florida State's gonna do it again.
They got what's the name from Oregon State? Oh God, brain fart. I just said his name a few days ago. They got
But see, I don't think,
Clemson's old quarterback.
yeah. But I don't think Florida State's one of the better teams out there. but I think just because of the ACC, because of what what conference they're in, I
Mm-hmm.
think that they're going to get in just based off of that.
Okay.
But I don't think they deserve. I don't think they deserve a bye. Just because they won the ACC.
Okay. I got you on that. All right. Who you got winning the Big 12?
Man, whatever. Uh, I got
I'll tell you who I
Oklahoma
got.
winning, man.
I'll tell you who I
Who
got
you
winning the
got?
Big 12. Utah.
Who?
Utah.
Utah.
Utah's in the Big 12 now.
Utah is in the Big 12, right?
Yes, and they
Oh,
physical and they bad.
yeah.
Hey,
But I don't have them. I don't have them winning. I don't have them winning the Big 12 though.
who you got winning the Big
No,
12?
I got y'all.
Win the SEC.
Oh yeah, that. Y'all did leave. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to look up the Big 12, man. See who's all in it. They
Dude,
got so many
dude.
people flip flopping.
Colorado. Hey, Colorado's in the Big 12. Arizona's in the Big
They
12.
gonna suck.
Arizona State's in the
They
Big
not gonna
12.
win them.
Utah in
Who?
the Big 12. Utah in the Big 12. Colorado,
Name
Utah,
the teams once again. Once again, name the teams.
Arizona, Arizona
Mm-hmm.
State,
Yeah.
Colorado, Utah.
Yeah.
I want to say Oregon State too. I just don't know. I don't know if it's Oregon State, but and then you got your remaining Oklahoma State, Baylor, K State, Kansas. Oh shoot. Brain fart. TCU. Oh man, that's a lot. But I got Utah. We'll have to get.
You got Utah
You know
coming
what
up.
we gotta do?
Okay.
We gotta do a podcast of all the new Big 12 teams, and then find out who wins the Big 12. That'll
Okay.
solve that problem. Because like I said,
Yeah, we'll do that.
you not
We'll
knowing
do
that,
that.
man. But I think
Yeah.
Utah, since they were so physical in the Pac-12, that they come into the Big 10. I mean, to the Big 12, man, they're gonna be physical too, man. And their quarterbacks, I think Rising is still there. So with him coming back, man, they're
Did
prime
they
to
lose
go.
that big tight end? They lost that big tight end, didn't they?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, the big tight end. He was putting up numbers, boy. He was killing the SC. He was
yeah,
killing SC.
by himself,
Yeah.
by
But
himself.
everybody was killing SC. So that
Yeah, man,
I
yeah.
think I think
You
I
know it's
think I
bad,
think
man, when Arizona
West Charlotte
State
could
was killing you.
I think West Charlotte could put numbers up on SC defense last year.
Man, I think women American put them points up to them, man. All
Right.
right, all
So
right.
well, I'm gonna have to switch. Well, that's my three because I'm gonna have to come back to you on my four.
Well,
But
pick yours.
actually,
'Cause like I said, pick yours,
people
and then what
getting
we're gonna
into
do?
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pick your
Let's
pick your
yeah.
four.
Let's come back to the whole 12 then.
Yeah, yeah. All right. This is what I got. I got Georgia in the
Okay.
SEC, Ohio State, the
Mm-hmm.
Big 10, Utah, the Big
Mm-hmm.
12, Clemson, ACC. And
Oh,
then
okay.
the way I got it ranked, Notre Dame is number 5
Mm-hmm.
because the schedule they got is number 5. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I got Oklahoma number 6. I
Mm-hmm.
got them losing. Got them losing 2 games.
Yeah.
All right.
It say
Then I
that.
got then I got Ole Miss
Mm-hmm.
at number 7. I got
Mm-hmm.
Penn State
Okay.
number 8. Number 9, I got Alabama at number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 is kind of hard, man, because I'm giving them just off GP. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they're gonna make it, but with the schedule they got, man, you got to put them in there. I think this year you're gonna have more teams in the SEC than any other conference. But I'm gonna put them in
Mm-hmm.
there because I think they're gonna have 2 losses too. Number 10 is Michigan.
Okay.
Number 10 is Michigan. All right. Excuse me. Number 11, I got Tennessee.
Okay.
And of course, number 12, you got to put the group of 5, the person that team to win that. you're gonna have Liberty again at number 12, which I don't like it,
Yeah.
but that's their criteria. They're gonna they're
Right.
gonna they're gonna do that.
Yeah. Where'd you
They're gonna
have
do that.
Georgia? Where'd you have Georgia?
Number one.
In the top four, right? Okay.
Yeah, Georgia number one,
Okay.
SEC champion. I
Yeah.
got I got
All
I got Oklahoma losing to them in the SEC
right.
championship
Okay.
game.
And you don't see Florida State doing nothing.
Man, look, I don't see. I think they're gonna go 9-8. I mean, excuse me, 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
They're going 9-3 because we forget SMU is going to be in the ACC as well. They are a high-powered offense that people are not going to be expecting them to come in there and score points. They gave Oklahoma problems last year. They got a quarterback that's coming back, receivers coming back, running backs coming back. The coach is a dog, and he loves to coach. He loves to call the plays. So
Mm-hmm.
I see SMU doing damage in the
There's
ACC.
one team that there's one team that I had that you didn't say at all. Oregon.
Yep. And the only reason why I didn't have Oregon in there, man, is because excuse me, you can put Michigan or Oregon. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do it like that. Michigan or Oregon. And if I could go back and change it, I would do Oregon. Because I think Oregon
Okay.
is with Dylan Gabriel is going to be it's going to be very vital for them having an experienced quarterback that's played in the big games play for them, because a lot of their
Mm-hmm.
passes, man, are 5 and 10 yard passes, and then the receivers do the rest. The only
Yeah, because they're
downfall that I have,
athletes. They got athletes.
yeah, the only downfall that Dylan has is on the deep ball, he always underthrows it,
Mm-hmm. And
and
the receiver go down all the time. But
that was the
but we
only
know a
critic.
lot of times with that, but a lot of times with that thrown ball, that's the one thing I wish change the rules as far as DBs. You got this guy who's out there running a 4-3, 4-4. You got to go with him. You got to go with him. And this
Yeah,
quarterback, you're rewarding the quarterback for underthrowing a ball.
yeah,
And the receiver turns around, tries to go back for it. But when they try to go back for it, at that point, being that I play some DB, you're not even thinking about turning around yet,
nope,
because it's not at that point where you should turn around. So with
yeah,
him underthrowing the ball and getting that flag all the time, I pretty much don't like that, man. I don't like that at all.
yeah. Well, all right. So in their format, in their format, if we do it by their format, five would play 12, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So five, it'll be Notre Dame playing Liberty.
A dub for
Okay.
Notre Dame.
Hey, we don't know.
We know. That's gonna be like that's gonna be like when I played for Elizabeth City State, right?
Yeah.
Uh, we had my first year. We had Winston-Salem State come down from D1, so the CIAA actually let them play the first year of coming down from D1 football.
Okay.
So our starters could definitely hang with D1 football players. But when you trying to do all that for 4 quarters, man, come on, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they won the CIAA championship 2 years in a row, but now they're back to where everybody is as far as having regular players. That's not D1, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's
Yep.
that's what Liberty's gonna run into. That
Well,
big
they're gonna run into that.
juggernaut.
They're gonna run into that every year, man. And I think it's unfortunate. They should have their own group of five championship. I
Yeah.
really believe that. They should have their own group of five.
Mm-hmm.
That way they will have their own shine, and it won't be subjective, and you're not taking a spot from somebody else that has earned it.
Right.
You're not
Let
just
me
giving
write
it
that
to them.
down. I gotta write that down. I'm gonna see what they're who they're playing on their schedule. I
Oh,
definitely got to
okay.
do that
All right.
because I want I
All right.
want to see. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's the bracket. The bracket is the number 8 seed playing number 9 seed. We got Penn State playing Alabama, and it's
Good
played
game.
and it's played
Toss
at
up.
Penn State. Them the kind of games you want, Mike.
Yeah.
These are kind. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, man.
Good football.
Just listen to this and see is it if it doesn't entertain you, and then
Right.
we'll do yours. Penn State playing Alabama. Notre Dame playing Liberty, and then you can do about that. Oklahoma playing Tennessee again. This time at the same place. They're playing in Norman because the lower seeds get the home game. Then you have Oregon playing Ole Miss, a game you would want to see. So if you say between Oregon and Ole Miss, who would you take? I'm gonna let you pick it.
And so these are they doing away with the bowl games where they're playing neutral fields?
These games, the lower seeds gets the home court. I mean, gets the home field. So the game will be
The
in Ole
lower
Miss.
seed gets it. Oh, you
Yes.
mean who has the well? I look at it
The
like
number
who has the
7
higher
seed
seed.
and the number 10 seed, the number 7 seed will get the home field
Play
advantage.
home.
So the game would be in the Ole Miss
Oh, yeah, I think I would have to go with Ole Miss on that one.
against Oregon.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh.
some Ole Miss games, man, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it is about Ole Miss and Mississippi State, but they ball out. they ball out. I don't know.
Yeah.
They are rough. I don't know if it's they know their system or they ball out.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with the Mississippi schools.
Well, we're gonna get back to that one in Mississippi State because they got a new coach and they're gonna be terrible this year. They're gonna be terrible. All right.
Yeah.
Penn State against Alabama, and they're playing at Penn State. Ooh,
I'm going for Penn State.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
These are your picks, man. Hey,
Yeah.
like I said,
And
these are your picks.
I'm only going for Penn State because I think that home field does matter. And the fact that this is this is the first year Nick Saban is gone, I think that's gonna have something to do with it too.
You think they might wipe the stadium out?
No, they ain't gonna wipe it. They ain't gonna get wiped out. I
No,
think it's gonna be
wipe. No, wipe the
oh,
stadium
white
out.
it out. Oh, yeah, they
You
wiped
know
it
how they
out.
white it
Yeah,
out, man. It
yeah,
looks
they wiped
nice,
it out.
man. Nittany
Yeah, it's
Stadium.
gonna be a
Hey, man,
total
that's
whiteout.
nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it's gonna
All
be a
right, then
total whiteout.
you got Oklahoma against Tennessee again, playing in Norman. Your
That's
pick.
such a toss up too, because
Your pick.
I like Tennessee, man. I
Your
like
pick.
Tennessee.
Your pick. Like I said, I'm not gonna be mad. I mean, whatever you think is real.
Oh no, I ain't scared of you being mad, man. I'm going for Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Tennessee. All right. So we got all the games won.
Because I don't think
Oh,
Oklahoma's gonna go 10-2.
okay. That's cool. 10-2. All right. So now after that, then we start filling in who plays where. So the number 1 seed will be Michigan. The number 1 seed will be Georgia. So you got Georgia against Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Notre Dame versus Clemson. All right. That's Clemson. Then you have Tennessee versus Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will have Ole Miss and Ohio State. All right. You got the last round. I'll get this round, who I think will win.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Between Penn State and Georgia, and the game will be played. Now, these are the games that are going to be played like at the Rose Bowl, the Cotton
Right.
Bowl, the Orange Bowl, and then
Right.
played. So with Georgia being number 1, they're gonna have it at in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You already
Yeah.
know that. You already know
Right.
that it's gonna be in Atlanta. So Georgia and
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, I got Georgia.
Right.
I got Georgia winning that one. Between Notre Dame and Clemson, that's gonna be a good game right there, man. I believe Notre Dame will get them. I believe Notre Dame will get them. It'll be a good defensive game, but with the quarterback for Notre Dame being a little bit more seasoned and more of a veteran, I'm giving him the
Mhm.
nod over the
Okay.
sophomore. Between Tennessee and
And,
Utah,
and
yes,
not
go
to
ahead.
mention Notre Dame is top 10 in defense too.
Yes, yes. So Tennessee and Utah, man, that's tough, man, because I like Tennessee since they would have beaten Oklahoma. I think they would be tested. So I'm going to pick Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Tennessee. I think
I think
Tennessee.
I think whoever wins the Oklahoma Tennessee game will beat Utah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that playing in the SEC with the schedule that both of them have,
Hmm.
they'll be battle tested. They'll be ready
Yeah.
for that game right there. And like I said, there is nobody in the Big 12 that you can play that could compare to the Alabamas, the Ole Miss, the Auburns,
Hmm.
the LSU's, and all that.
Right.
That's just a daunting schedule. All right. Then we have Ole Miss versus Ohio State.
Hmm.
I'm take Ohio State.
Okay, I'll go with you on that one.
I think Ohio State will take them. Now you have the 14 playoff, the four teams. You will have Georgia
Ohio
going up
State,
against no Georgia will take on Notre Dame,
Notre Dame.
and then Ohio State takes on Tennessee.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna let you pick.
I'm going Ohio State,
Okay,
and Georgia's playing who again?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Because I think Georgia's gonna have the tougher road. I think I'm gonna go with Georgia,
All right.
and I got Ohio State winning it all.
You know what? I'm saying to myself, if Ohio State makes it to the championship game with Will Howard, now the one thing that we didn't even talk about tonight when it came to Ohio State, the new OC,
Hmm.
Chip Kelly is there, the new OC.
Yeah, it's gonna
So
be interesting.
that might be the X factor that
Yeah,
finally gets Ohio State
over
over the
that hump.
hump. They've played Georgia before, and they played them, and Georgia barely won that game to go on to beat who they beat. They went on to beat. That's when they went on and beat Georgia had to play Ohio State because Michigan played TCU. So yeah, uh,
Mhm.
they played before. It was a real tough game, and Georgia pulled it out
Yeah.
in the end. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say Ohio
Hmm.
State finally gets it done. I think Ohio State finally gets it done.
Yeah,
Remind
Michigan
Dave.
just opened the door. Michigan just opened the door wide open for them by everybody leaving and the coach leaving. They just opened up the door wide open for Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, man, hey, it if this goes out the way we think it's going to go, man, and all these teams, man, get in, and we can look back at this and say, man, you know what? We weren't that off.
Right.
We weren't that off like some of the other
Yeah.
people are. But like I said, all this is subjective. We don't. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, everything that we're saying now, everything we have wrote down by week 7, you can throw all this out the book. You can throw all
No, yeah.
this out,
I mean, by us playing
pencil out
sports,
names. The one
we
team that
know
we have not. Go ahead.
by us playing sports, man, we know injuries matter too. You know, you
Yes.
can have major injuries with all these players, all these
Yeah.
teams. You can have major injuries. You can have sleeper teams, teams that just come out of nowhere that we would have never thought. So you always have those, just like in basketball. You know, you got the Sweet 16 team that's ranked number 14 or 15.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna have all that. You know, it's the season hasn't even started yet. These are just based on educational guesses, basically.
Yeah. They're all guesses, man. But
Yeah.
the one team I want to say this, man, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash because there's one team neither one of us mentioned, and I know I'm gonna get back. I know I'm gonna get it. I know I'm gonna get it, and that's Texas.
Yeah.
I had someone today, man, Jason from Hall of Fame Sports, man. He texted me today, and he gave me a stat that I had to go check out, and it was true, and it shocked me. The last time Texas was ranked number 5 in the preseason poll, you know what they ended the season as?
What?
Unranked.
Wow.
They finished the season unranked. They came
Hmm.
in preseason number 5, all the hype, and they finished the season unranked.
Yeah.
Plus, Quinn Ewers has been hurt every season he's played football.
Hmm.
N- He got hurt last year in the Big 12. Now you mean tell me you're gonna go play in the SEC? That's
Right.
better D line, better
Yeah.
defenses, and
Not
you gonna
not
make it through
not
the
just D
season?
line, but them defensive ends come off that boy.
Hey,
They come off that ball.
the D
Woo.
lines in the SEC are more physical, fast, and they're more bigger. They're faster, and they're quicker in the SEC. So now you don't have a 220-pound linebacker coming at you, and you might can wiggle your hips to get by him. You have a 260-pound end that runs a 4.4, that runs a 4.5 that you cannot run. And
I
if
believe also. I believe they blitz a lot more too.
oh yeah,
You got
but
teams
here's the
like
thing,
Alabama, man. They get up on that line and they blitz you
yeah,
in different ways. Yeah.
if Tua got hurt in the SEC with that backfield that he had,
Yeah.
offensive line that he had, it's when you get out the pocket and try to create.
Hmm.
We all know about cheap shots. We all know teams are going to take them.
Hmm.
We all know about when you're down at the bottom of a pile
Of a
that you
scrum.
you
Yeah.
you giving them little poking in the eyes. I mean, we all know that. I mean, we've all been there and done that. I just don't think that he's going to make it through the season, and then you're going to ask Arch Manning to come in there and lead them to the CFP. I just don't. I just can't see it.
No.
That's the only
And
reason why I
I
don't have Texas there. Now
and
I
I
could be
and
wrong.
I,
I could be
and I
wrong, man. They could run the table.
and I honestly think that he's overrated.
Well,
He's
that's
living
another.
off his he's
Yeah,
living off his family name to me.
we all know that. We all know that. We
Right.
all know that, man. Look, I'm not going. We That's a touchy subject, man. That I can tell you
Yeah.
right now. Everybody know that's the name. You're going off your legacy of your uncles,
Yeah.
both of
Yeah.
your uncles.
And
You're going
granddad. Yeah.
granddad. That's what you're
Yeah.
going off. So, well, hey, man. I appreciate you, man, jumping on tonight, man, and we getting this done,
Yes.
man. I know we're gonna try to do a lot more live feeds, man, because I like this, man. It'll be out there for everybody to see, and we'll get comments on it, man. And the comments, man, that you guys put out, man, put the comments, man. Like I said, if you want to debate something that we said, if you want to, say, hey, that ain't right, send us an email, send a
Yeah.
comment. We'll get it.
Because
And like I said,
we're definitely not those two people who are gonna argue you down on your opinion
no,
versus our opinion.
man,
Yeah.
your
I
opinion,
mean,
man. I'm going to respect your
yeah.
opinion. And like I
Hmm.
said, the same as I would like for you to respect mine. We're all fans
Yeah.
here. Short for fanatic.
Yeah.
We all
And at the end of the day, if you were right and I was wrong, I was wrong. You know
hey,
what I'm saying?
if
Like,
the end of the season comes, man, and Texas is number 1 and they done beat everybody, I'll be the first one coming in and say,
yeah.
you know what?
Yeah, we was wrong. Yeah. Didn't see that
Hey,
coming.
hey, I didn't. But it's okay to disagree. It's okay, it's too much disagreeing right now in the world as it is right now, man. But I don't
Right,
mind
right.
being wrong. I don't mind saying, hey, you know what? Standing on my square, I was wrong. You were right. Kudos to you. I don't
Cause
mind doing that, man.
because
So
at the end of the day, ain't neither one of us getting no check from nobody. So we ain't get a check from
I
none of
ain't
these
getting check.
teams. So
I ain't getting no check from nobody. But I don't
hey,
mind. I'll take somebody's check if they
hey,
want to
it,
give it to me.
hey, if BYU wins the championship, then kudos to BYU. You
That ain't happening. That ain't, well, hey,
know,
let's let's
my
do it like
pastor,
this.
Pastor Durham would love that though.
Let's say it like this. Let's make it
Mhm.
meaningful. If Liberty wins, then I'll say, you know what? Y'all were right. All right,
That's
man,
not gonna
Mike,
happen.
man. Well,
All right,
man, you
coach.
enjoy yourself, man. I'm gonna jump off here, man. Hey, guys, We thank you guys for checking out our podcast, man. We really appreciate it, man. Like I said, we're only getting better. Where this is getting more second nature to us. We're getting better at communicating. We're getting better at feeding off one another. That's all we're gonna do is get better. I don't like to
Mhm.
edit what me and you put out, man, because if we mess up, I want to be authentic. I want to be like, hey,
Right.
man, they made a mistake. Why don't you edit that out? I don't want that to be the case for us. If we make a mistake, made a mistake, we're only gonna get
Yep.
better.
All right, man. We're gonna
So,
continue to talk that talk.
all right, man. Well, until next week, man, we signing out, man. But like I said, take care of yourself, man, and everybody, man. We're out. Peace out. All right.